Hey, New City Church family, Pastor Vince here. I want to take a moment to thank you. New City has never been about just a few people carrying the load for everyone else. It's always been this robust, loving, serving, giving family, a body where each person plays a part. We are where we are today because so many of you have served faithfully, welcoming and teaching and praying and setting up and tearing down and loving people in the often quiet and unseen ways. So thank you. And as you know, we have a new chapter ahead of us. We have a move into Murphy Canyon where God has positioned us for something incredibly significant. And I was going to make this video where it was basically a logistics update asking for your patience as we transition into a new space and how the first services for the first few weeks will be more like a soft launch. But as I prayed about it, I felt convicted, to be honest with you, because you know this. The church is not a spectator sport. It's not a few people dribbling the ball on the court while the rest of us are in the stands or the bleachers. No, Paul tells us in Ephesians 4 that God gave apostles and prophets and evangelists and shepherds and teachers to equip the saints for the works of ministry so that the entire body could be built up, so that every believer is built up. Every believer is part of the mission of God. This is what we call the priesthood of all believers. That you are called and you are gifted and you are needed in God's work. And that work isn't just something that happens on Sundays. It's in our homes. It's in our jobs. It's in our neighborhoods. But Sundays do matter. And not because we need to fill roles, but because people need to be welcomed into the family of God. Sundays are an expression of the mission of God. They're not less than that. So here, as we move into Murphy Canyon, where there are military families who have gone years without a church in their neighborhood. There are kids who feel lost and disconnected. Moms and dads who are navigating life while their spouse is deployed. And people who feel far from God and far from community. And when they walk through our doors, my question is, what are they going to experience? I mean, imagine like a military mom stepping into church for the first time in years. And her husband's deployed. She's just trying to hold everything together. What if she's met with a warm welcome and a hot cup of coffee on a cold, rainy morning? Or imagine a kid, a child who's new to San Diego, struggling to make friends, carrying all kinds of emotions that they don't even know how to express. What if our City Kids team, what if our kids become the first place they feel safe and seen and loved? Or imagine a dad sitting alone, not sure how to connect, feeling the weight of doing this season of life without his wife. What if someone from New City invited him into friendship to hang out over coffee or at the gym or at City Group? This is the kind of thing, it doesn't even have to be additional things we add to our life. This is just being more intentional with the things we're doing. Church isn't just a bunch of activity. Church is the identity that we each get to claim. And as our church is moving into Murphy Canyon, it isn't about our comfort. It's about our calling. This is not just about Sundays as usual. This is about us living out our identity as good news family on God's mission, that we're missionaries. We're the kind of people who get to step towards those who feel far from God and far from community and draw them close. So my question for you is this, New City family, are you ready to answer that call? And not out of guilt, not out of obligation, but out of grace and out of love, because Christ first loved us. He was willing to be inconvenienced. He was willing to stretch himself out of his comfort zone. Paul says this in the letter to the Philippians. He says, have this mind among yourselves, which is yours in Christ Jesus, who, though he was in the very form of God, did not count equality with God something to be grasped, but he emptied himself by taking the form of a servant and humbling himself. This is the mindset we get to be a part of. We're called to. It's the heart of Jesus who didn't cling to his comfort, but humbled himself to serve us, to save us. And now we get to reflect him in the way that we love and serve others. So if you call New City your home, this is your moment. This is our opportunity as a family to step into this next chapter, this next season together, to serve not just because we need bodies to fill roles, but because we have an opportunity to be a part of something greater than ourselves, the mission of God. And I hope you'll answer that call. I'll see you this Sunday. Love you guys. God bless you.